Hey everyone, I'm Candace.
I'm Latoya.
And I'm Sherelle.
And we are Sistas Unscripted.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We are completely unscripted, where we talk about all the things, all the shit, whatever we want, from the eyes of Black sisters. So stay and kick it with us.
Let's get into it.
So guys, for this topic, we're going to talk about age gaps. And if you've had any negative experiences dating someone, would you date someone with that same name?
Ooh.
Okay.
Or as what did you used to do when you like get excited or like or was that the Burger King woman? Just
Ooh, yo, daddy. Fucking gross.
That
Love
is
you.
forever imprinted in my brain.
Just took me back. Age gaps. Yeah.
Oh, age gaps.
Like what are we talking age gaps? Like a few years, 10 years, 15 years?
Like, are we saying date or no date? Doesn't or what?
I would say date.
Okay. Okay.
See, that's hard. Okay, listen. I've dated someone that was, I think, 14 years older than me.
Oh.
And so, but also Black don't crack.
I mean, yeah.
So
How old were you when you were dating?
it was in my 30s.
Oh, okay, so it's more recent.
Yeah,
than not.
yeah. So, but I will say I was hesitant at first because society, makes it seem like, I mean, first of all, like, obviously you ain't going to date anybody that's like not of age, obviously.
Yeah,
that's
a given.
It's not what we're talking about. But like, I think there's a something in society that tells us that we need to stay dating around people that are our age.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, because I found like an inner conflict for me when I kind of started, talking to this person,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like the dopest person. They're so awesome, so, but, that didn't become a thing, which, that happens. And then there's been another time where I've been introduced to, a guy that was, I think, 8 years younger than me.
Ew.
Oh, okay.
And
Ew.
so, and see, and that's the thing is like, is it ew or is it like
Yes, it's ew.
if they're in their 30s?
My rule of thumb is if anyone is younger than my youngest brother, and I'm talking about youngest brother in our core four, then like that's a fuck no, buddy.
But okay, here's the thing though, because I think that society has told certain gender folks that isn't a big deal. So for like example, men can date people who are or end up dating 8 years
Older.
younger.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say older. Like
No,
years.
8 years younger, and people don't blink an eye.
That's
like they
true.
might be like, "Oh, that's kind of weird," or whatever. And it's more now we talk about it more, but in the past we did not.
Right,
It was
for
like,
sure.
"Oh, he's dating who he can still get a younger girl or a younger woman."
Let's be real. Like, and Mom, if you ever hear this, I'm sorry, but when we first met our stepdad, I was like, "Who the hell is this old man trying to mac on our mom?"
Oh my gosh, girl.
Keeping it real.
I was just but for real, because I was like, I didn't know who he was. I think they have a quite significant age gap, and I think Mom was, I think, in her late 30s when they married, and
Yeah.
so, but that didn't come from me. It came from what society puts out there and saying what's appropriate and what's inappropriate. Because like really at the end of the day, if you look, the fact is they were two grown ass adults and they liked each other and they wanted to get married.
right.
And like there's nothing wrong with that.
right.
There was nothing it was consenting and all that stuff. So, Mom wasn't 18.
right.
You know what I mean? She was a grown ass woman.
Right. Lived experience a lot.
Right. So, but I think society, puts that in our heads.
Right. Well, they applaud some people and condemn the others.
Yes. Like kind of like with guys with the like, ooh, you dating a cougar?
Right.
Or you dating a young girl. It's like both ways for them.
Right.
It's good for them, but if it's a girl, or a woman or someone who identifies as a woman, you know, it's like, ooh, what's going on with her?
Right. I know, because they're, ooh, are you, I don't get it. Are you being a mom?
Are you Stella trying to get your groove back?
Right.
You know?
Are you trying to be a mother to your partner?
Oh, that.
Yep. And if they're younger, or like you're not considered, you know, beautiful or sexy or desirable at a certain age, even though you can still, you know, you got them young men coming and being like, hey, can I get your number?
Can I get now?
You know, and then women who date older men, I don't know if there's a bigger conversation about that compared to
because the quote unquote they're gold diggers.
Oh, that's true.
That's another
thing. But for us, what does that look like? So was that a healthy relationship, dating a 14-year-old or not 14? Oh my gosh, that's not what I meant to say.
And a person that was 8 years younger than me.
Goodness. Well, I was going to say, well, yeah, on both for person who was 14 years older,
yeah,
and 8 years younger.
Like I was saying before, I had like inner conflict, and that's just stuff I had to work through or have to work through, because I still every once in a while I'm like, I don't know, but I realistically I know that, you know, if they are of age, and I'm meaning like they can't, like I'm not gonna be dating no 21-year-old. Like there's no way. Like I can't personally do that. I think the youngest that I would go is like early 30s, and I'm 40. So, and still that's kind of like hard for me. But I think, you know, if they're mature and they, you know, they know how to communicate, and, you know, then why not? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like, and also I still look good. So
yeah, you do. You don't even look your age.
Thank you.
Black don't crim.
Thank you. So what about you, sis toy?
I honestly don't know. I've always wanted to be in a relationship with somebody either my age or older. I had a harder time thinking and seeing myself being with somebody that's younger.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, honestly. I mean, I haven't dated a lot. So, I don't know. I never really.
Was it hard for you to date your ex-husband then? Because he's younger than you.
Only by 6 months.
But yeah, I would say that's very small little.
That's that's different.
So different.
I think that's different.
Fair.
Because
I didn't realize he was that close.
Only 6. I think it was 6 months.
Like a year younger, but
no,
even a year younger.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. A year can make.
That's true.
Depending on the person, but also I've seen some really like my friend that I met performing this summer. Mm-hmm. They are 21, 22 years old, and they have an old soul. Like they're a beautiful old soul, and I'm like, you're only 22. Like you got some wisdom on you. You know, so it really just depends on the person.
I mean, I've definitely connected with some younger folks in my time where I'm like, like you're smart, really great philosophical conversations, and you read books, and you have thoughts,
right?
You know, and can expand the conversation interestingly. So like there are moments where I'm like, you know. But then I go, but you're so little.
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I don't think you really think about it. Like, and honestly, I feel like I understand where you're coming from, because you haven't really had an experience where you've had to really, really think about that. And I think that's where, for me, I've had to, because I have had an experience with someone older and someone younger than me, it forced me to actually look at those thoughts and sort through those ideas of like, am I okay with this? You know? Mm-hmm. And I think when it's not there, you're not gonna, if it's not there, you don't have to talk about it.
You know, I will say this though. There was once upon a time a guy that I was hanging out with. We never we didn't name the relationship. So we're hanging out.
You were in a situation?
I just found out what that word is. And I was like, oh.
Are you like right now? Like when? Like just a few days ago?
What was I watching? Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I think it was like a reality TV show I was watching. I was like 6 situationship. I was like, that is genius.
That's my life right there.
They have there's a new one. It's called textationship too.
Oh,
What the hell does that mean?
it's just
A relationship
text.
over text.
Oh, hell no.
What is even the damn point?
No, for real.
I want to like be
For real.
snuggled and shit, you know,
No,
like
for
not
real.
text and
I
like
don't want just words.
right. I mean, even though I do love poetry,
Yeah, but also I need action.
yeah, poetry
I
needs to come with action,
Yes.
intimacy, connection, all those things. But no, this hoe,
What it is, oh.
he was younger than me, but he felt like he was in. I was in my early 30s and he was 27.
Okay.
I know.
See, again, like you guys are.
It's not even that big of an age gap. No.
Age gap at all.
But it was interesting because I was still feeling some sort of way about it. Because I'm like, I'm older in this, like in this situationship.
right.
But also, I really enjoyed our conversations. He cooked me food, which don't mean shit.
Right.
I mean, just to let y'all know, in the world of situationships, if he or she or they cook you dinner, it don't mean shit. No, just eat and run.
Just say thank you.
Yep. Thank you for the meal. I'm going to take a doggy bag home. Thanks for the food. Peace and blessings. But
Peace and blessings.
But yeah, like he was, and I was like, oh, he's really cool and thoughtful and playful. And I was like, this is really, really cool. And then that 27-year-old show up and I went, that's why I don't want to date someone younger because that little age gap does appear.
Show the ass.
Yes. I was just like, you're projecting your own fears or whatever. Like you could just be real and just be like, I don't know, just like keep it real. But that 27-year-old, you know what, y'all? We said this podcast is unscripted.
Mm.
Sometimes we go off script,
But sometimes technology does too.
and that's what happened. So we back.
Sisters Unscripted. So anyway, but it didn't cut too much, but Latoya was wrapping up more or less, that the 27-year-old's ass was showing basically. So she's like, nope, that's a no-go for me. But
Yeah.
But-
I mean, we always stay open.
yes,
And also, that was definitely my experience.
yes. And what about you, Missy? Sherelle?
Okay, so I personally, I don't date me as a 36-year-old. I don't date anyone younger than 30. But William's age is my cutoff. If they're younger than William, then that's a no.
Who's William?
Obviously our brother.
I know, but for the
Our brother
listeners,
William. But if they're also close to his age, I'm like, no. I think it has to do with like, I don't know. I feel like that has to do with, and I hate to say masculine because maybe that's not the right term, but I think that's the best term that I can come up with right now. But I want to feel safe, and my ideal relationship to where I would feel safe is with someone who is older than me, at least older than my younger brother. And yeah, so there's that. And then the oldest that I would date, I don't know. I've actually been exploring that a little bit. I'm even open to dating someone like in their 50s. Like, I'm cool with that.
I learn something new about you all the time.
Yeah. But like, if they're like the sexy 50s, like,
What's the sexy 50s?
Like, you know, where they got like the silver hair, they got the silver boobs,
oh, they call them zaddies.
they got the tattoo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys can hit me up. Like, that's
Pedro
so
Pascal?
fine.
Who?
Pedro Pascal?
I have no idea. who
Y'all
that
need
is.
to look him up.
I probably know.
He's
Honestly,
cute.
I'm the worst with names for celebs, but if I were to see them, I probably know who it is.
If you've seen promos for The Last of Us,
So good.
in that, if you've seen promos, what's that Star Wars show that he's in?
Oh, the Mandalorian, but he's not really. He's masked the whole time.
Oh well,
Yeah, I'm
he's
not
a
sure.
Mandalorian.
Yeah,
He
no,
also
I'm-
is in Gladiator too.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, I haven't seen that
You
either.
know what,
Girl,
looks like.
Google it.
I mean,
I
he's
wish
cute.
I will.
He's
He's
like-
Google University.
He's claimed it. The world has claimed it. He is a zaddy. A zaddy.
Yeah.
A zaddy who can get it.
Oh,
Yeah. But I think age gaps are interesting. I think if you are in your 30s and at least both parties are in their 30s, you're in the clear. If one is older and they're in their 20s, or the younger is in their 20s or they're in their teens, like 18, 19, you gotta stay away from that, dude, because social media is gonna roast the fuck out of you.
I mean, she's not lying.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. I'm just lucky that I'm not in a situation where I'm forced to have an opinion. Because I think we're all on the same page. It's not like Candace isn't dating like an 18-year-old. And if that was the case, we'd be like,
Oh, yeah. Y'all would stop that right away.
yeah, for
But
sure.
also, I would never let that happen. That's
100%.
just cringe.
Yeah. So we're on the same page on that. So like I said, I'm just happy that I'm not in a situation where I'm forced to be, or where I'm forced to have an opinion on that. So I'm pretty like nonchalant about it.
Interesting. I wonder what the listeners. I want to hear from the listeners. What are your thoughts on that topic, y'all? Send us some comments, some DMs on social media, or send it to our email, because we definitely want to know what your take is on this.
Mm-hmm.
Something else that we were going to talk about was dating somebody with a name of somebody you didn't get along with or you didn't like, right?
Yeah, like maybe.
Yeah. So I guess, would you date somebody? So say someone had a name of someone, or like it could be an ex, it could be a boss, someone that you didn't get along with, or someone you had bad experiences with, I guess is better to say. Would you, does that ruin their name?
And would you?
And if you found somebody that was amazing and they had that name, like, what would you do? I mean, see, I've thought about this a lot. I've thought about this a lot because there's three particular names, and I'm not going to name names, but one starts with an R, one, or actually two, yeah, one starts with an R and one J. I think that's only two. Actually, there might be more than one of each. So I'll just let y'all stir on that. But no, so the one with the R name, oh my goodness. So I had I worked with somebody back in the day, and they were superior to me, in the chain of command, I guess you want to say that. And, they just, yeah, they ruined that name for me. Just the way that they talked to me was just very cringy, and just like they talked to me in a way where, they would tell me things about their lives that I thought was highly inappropriate.
Especially for the workplace?
Yeah, for the workplace. I mean, this person told me about, an affair that he had, that he still hadn't told his wife about. And I was like, I was so uncomfortable. Like, what the hell is happening right now? Like, why are you telling me this? And then like, there was a point where this person, too, I had gone on a work trip and came back, and we were in their office, having a meeting, and I was getting ready to leave. And they're like, I wish my wife was as tall as you so I could hug her like, or I don't know, something like, basically saying he wished that she was taller so that he could hug her easier, like me.
Ew.
But he'd never hugged me, mind you. He did say it was probably inappropriate for me to hug you, right? I'm like, yeah, we ain't hugging.
Homie, if you have to make that comment,
Right,
you
no,
already know it's
exactly.
inappropriate.
For sure. No, for sure. And there's more. And so after you told me no, not that part. What was it? There was a point where he went on vacation, and I'm a performer. I sing and stuff. And this particular person knew that I, sang and performed, and had actually seen me perform. And so that was one of the things that they would tell everybody about. And I'm just like, okay, you don't need, nobody else needs to know. Like, just stop. Thank you though. But he would always talk about me to his wife, and first of all, First of all, nobody wants your man, honeys. I did not want your man. Nobody wanted your man. So let's just get that record straight. I mean, and I kind of want to ask you, did you even want your man?
I mean,
because I mean, I don't know, just from experiences seeing them together, it didn't seem like there was a very genuine, happy relationship. So, but anyways, so all that said, this person would talk to his spouse about me all the time and would tell me about it. And would tell me, legit say, my wife is jealous of you. I'm like, why? And literally, I'm just like, dude, are you serious? I'm like, why am I being talked about at your house outside of work? Like, that's weird. I'm like, your wife has nothing to worry about. Like, why? Like, why? And to the point where they went on a trip, they were listening to music on the radio. And there was a song there was a singer on that he thought, that I sounded like. And so she wanted to change the station. And so he's like, no, I want to keep it on the song. And she's like, you just want to keep it on there because she sounds like Candace. And he told me this.
My mouth is like dropped.
Right?
What in the hell?
No, for real. Oh, and there's more. So at one point, this person needed, so they went to lunch with their spouse and they'd taken the same car, but the spouse had to go do something with one of their kids at school or something like that. And so they'd asked me, which is normal. I was HR and, I do things for all my employees and things like that. But so he needed me to pick him up from the restaurant. And so, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, I'm like,
I thought it was weird. But also, I'm like,
Uber. It's called Lyft.
That's what I thought too. But also, that's just another topic of conversation. Feeling like you can't really say no to someone that you
that are in positions of power. That can, especially
white men in positions of power. So that's another conversation. But yeah. So anyway, and at this time, I'm a single mom. I have, my 2 kids and I need this job, you know what I mean? So, so anyway, I'm like, okay, I'll pick him up. So, and consciously the whole way there, I was like, okay, I'm not going to ask him any personal questions. Like, this is my space. He's coming into my space. This is my car. Like, I don't want to say my sanctuary because, actually, sometimes my car is my sanctuary because sometimes I like to sit in my car and just chill.
Yes, actually, a lot of people do actually find their time in their car to be that very thing. It's their safe space.
I do that a lot, actually.
Me too. So
it's comforting, actually.
Yeah, and it's like you invite people into your car,
right?
So if you're uncomfortable, like, you mess up your sacred space.
No. Okay. So yes. So my car is one of my sacred spaces. Okay. So anyway, so I was consciously in my head saying these things like, okay, let's not ask him anything personal. Let's just keep it and like, I was very much like that with this person in general. Kept everything very vague with this person. And like, if there were like, I don't want, like, lines were never crossed, like, between us, obviously. Cause first of all, ew. But things, like, inappropriate things that were said were always from this person, not from me. And so anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. But so I pick him up and he's like, oh, my wife's so mad at me. And instantly, like, first of all, listen, I was in my car and like, it's so crazy how like our minds work. Cause I was so close to saying, well, what happened? Because first of all, I was in my space.
Right.
And where I feel safe. But then I immediately was like, no, this man, no. And so I was like, oh, okay. And then he's like, you don't want to know why? I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
And why? And so he proceeds to tell me,
homie, did you not hear what I said?
Right. Exactly.
I said what I said. Like, exactly. I don't want to know.
So he proceeds to tell me, he's like, well, my wife is, what did she say? Oh, because apparently he called me one of his best friends to her. And
that is a certain degree of delulu.
No, for real.
Like, where you been, homie?
For real.
Take the note.
Like, read the room.
Read the room. Read the car.
First of all, I didn't want you in my car.
And second of all, I said, no, I'm good. I don't want to hear nothing.
Yep. no. So, but that's honestly, that was a majority of how that person dealt with everybody in the office. You know, it's just very passive aggressive. The very, you know, do as I say, not as I do. Or they would like very gaslighting, like a lot of that stuff. Like maybe at one point we can talk about it, but when everything happened in 2020 with COVID and like George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery, I think, like all that stuff was happening. Oh, the conversations that him and I had, like I had to put that man in his place sometimes, like just because, well, I don't see color. I'm like, you know, dude, I'm not the one.
Oh, you only see it when it's convenient to you.
The one right now,
right?
Do not. And then why is it always gotta be about race? Like, says the privileged white man. You know, and so, I mean, and I love me some white people because you know I'm part white, but also like,
yeah, like gosh,
yeah. So
I can't with this man.
I know. Sorry, I'm
as Keke Palmer has said. Sorry to this man.
Sorry to this man.
Pushing the picture away.
That's pretty gross.
But yeah, so but he was very much like that. But he had said to me, well, yeah, I told her that you're my best friend, and she got all upset. And I'm like, how are we best friends? Dude, I never talked to you outside of work, first of all. And if it is outside of work, it's because you're calling me for a business related thing.
So it still work.
Yeah. So, but it's very, very minimal. And honestly, it got to a point where I was like, if he did call me, I was just like, oh, my phone didn't ring. Sorry. You know,
if I am not on the clock, hear me out, people. Okay. Because this seems to be a new thing in this world. Or maybe not. Maybe this has always been an old thing. But when you call after work hours,
you're giving Noxzema Jackson right now.
Noxzema Jackson.
From To Wong Fu.
Love that movie. Holler out to Wesley Snipes.
All right.
John Leguizamo. And rest in peace forever, Patrick Swayze. Anyway, but hear me out. If you're going to be calling after hours, if you expect me to be available for 24 hours, then you better pay me 24 hours. Okay.
Yep. And it better be good money
day, because just because I'm not on the schedule don't mean I'm available. Right. It's not you didn't put me on the schedule. So if someone drops out and you're like, who can show up? It's going to be a generous offer if I say I can. But according to your scheduling, no. I am not available. Just because my name is not on the schedule, just because I might be available, you didn't schedule me. So guess what? It's my time.
We're setting boundaries.
Setting boundaries.
No.
But people who think that just because you might be available because you're not on the schedule, who thinks in that way? But if you want me to be available, then you will pay me for 24 hours a day.
Oh, right.
Thank you very much.
Oh, for sure. It's like the same concept of where they're like, what are you doing today? I'm like, doing nothing. Oh, so then let's go do something. It's like, I'm doing nothing. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm not available.
Nothing.
But what does this have to do with dating the same person?
Because this old person who was...
This person that I used to work with was... So
he called her after hours.
Yes. No, I was saying these are. Basically telling the reasons. I'm basically telling the reasons why I can't date a person with this name anymore because of the experiences I had with this person.
Oh, okay.
Calling after hours. I would have put that on the clock. I'd be like, called me at 6:45. That was a 2-minute conversation. No. You know, actually, that was 2 hours.
Well, and you talk.
Yeah, but at that point, you're salary. So it's not like you.
I was not salary.
I was just kidding.
So put it in the papers.
And I did get paid, but I made sure at some point, finally, I was getting paid, but it got to a point where I was like, I got to set boundaries, like. And it was interfering with me and the kids.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not, and it wasn't just this person calling me, it was everybody. Cause I was in HR. And so, but anyway, but yeah, all of that to say, like, there's no way I mean, never say never. Cause who knows, maybe I find somebody that has that name, but honestly, it's going to be really hard for me. Like it may be like, what's your middle name? Like I'm calling you that because the trauma associated with that name is real. And I don't see myself ever not being okay with that name you know, or being associated with that name romantically. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think friend wise, I think it'd be different, you know?
Right.
But romantically, yeah, no.
I wouldn't eat. I don't know if I. Ooh, that's you made me think, because I was just like, why does that matter? But you know, name, it does come with some history, so
it holds power.
It does.
Names hold power. You know, I remember that. I think it was. I don't know if it was Jenny Jones back in the day, or if it was like one of those talk shows. If it was Jerry Springer or something.
Ricky Lake.
Oh, I think it was Ricky Lake, or maybe I don't remember, but it's one of those shows. And the topic was, like our children, like the children, like when you name your kids, like they match their names. So I guess there was. Do you remember that?
I think.
And there was a girl named Temptress.
Right.
And they're like, why did you name your daughter Temptress? And so basically she was more or less.
I'm looking this up.
Being, you know, doing things that maybe she shouldn't have been doing. And so, but what she meant, she's like, oh, I named her from the girl from the Cosby Show. It's like, no, that's Tempest, not Temptress. Tempest. So yeah. Anyway, interesting.
I do remember that. I'm trying to like see who was it? Was it Jenny Jones or Ricky Lake? Because it was. Let's see.
It could have been Montel Jordan too.
I don't think it was Montel Jordan.
Jeez, I was dating myself with all this stuff. But yeah. So
Jenny Jones.
It was Jenny Jones.
Temptress on Jenny Jones clip.
Yep.
I won't say what year it was.
Yeah, 90s probably. But woo, yeah. So anyway, all that to say. But what about y'all?
Shro, what you got?
I think I'm pretty fortunate. I mean, I'm open to other perspectives if I'm wrong, but I am able to separate whatever happened from this. Like, all right, so I dated a guy named Richard. Not a good experience. But if I were to date another Richard, I could separate my experience from negative Richard from like new Richard.
See, and that's so mature. Like that to me, I'm looking at myself now, like hearing you say that, and like clearly I have something to look at and work on myself.
Do you though? Do you?
I would say like there is still that emotional part that would need him to work a little bit harder,
but that's also
to
not
overcome. Exactly. And that's where the logical part of my brain would come in and be like, that's not his fault. He didn't do anything. Like stuff from or negative experiences from old Richard that's not fair to project it on a new Richard. So yes, I would be emotional. I would have that emotional aspect of it. And then my logical side would talk down to my emotional side, and then that would keep it kind of level. But I feel for the most part, I'd be able to separate. But when I wouldn't be able to separate, I can logically talk myself through it. So I'm not giving him, so I'm giving the new Richard, for example, an appropriate opportunity.
Right. You're not self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
Which I can respect that. But also knowing myself, I probably wouldn't even let myself get to that point of even liking them. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think if there wasn't, if it got to the opportunity or got to a place where there were feelings, then I think that I would probably do that, logically separate things. But I don't know if my mind would let me get to that point. Does that make sense?
But then like if you do that, like I get that, but I'm always like, I have no idea what opportunities this person could bring me.
No, for sure. And I agree with you there. Never say never.
You could potentially miss out on like the greatest thing.
For sure. So I ain't calling you that.
I mean, hey, but those are the risks that you take.
Right.
And that's what dating is all about.
Ooh, I don't know. What about you? What about you, Toy?
You know, I've never thought about it. But it's definitely something interesting. I'm like, would I date another person that was associated with a name associated to my ex?
Or a negative experience?
I don't know.
I think it's hard for you to kind of comment on that because you are in a situation where you can really think about that.
Exactly. So it's hard to really think about it. I would like to think, no, it won't matter. And also, you never know, you know?
But all the stuff I went through with this person though, like, do you feel me? Like,
Oh no, I feel you.
You know what I mean?
Come on now. I feel you. So,
and that's just one person.
I'm sure there's several people, which I'm curious, folks, like, what are your thoughts about this? Is it a similar situation where you've had a negative experience with in a relationship, and then you've met someone else with that same name? Did that experience carry over to with the name, or would you be like, oh, that was associated with that person, not the name?
Right.
You know, because I think both. I don't know. It's something interesting. I never thought about it, but hearing your experience, and then hearing Sherelle say what she said, I was like, this is interesting.
I know, very interesting. Because I've even talked to some of my girlfriends about this stuff, and they're the same way, like me. They have the same idea. They're like, there's no way I could. And so I know I'm not the only one,
right?
You know, so I'm very curious as to what our listeners, you know, feel and what their experience is with this type of, or what with this particular topic.
Drop us a message, email us, let us know what your thoughts are, because it's a very interesting topic.
Yes, it is. So I think on that note, let's talk about some joy. What is our joy for the week?
My joy is going to be that I'm sleeping in tomorrow. Speaking of doing nothing, I mean, I'll still be doing a lot of things, but
that sleep in,
but not at like 4 a.m.
Yes,
or 6 a.m. I'm going to sleep in as long as I can, knowing that my body's going to probably wake up at 7 o'clock. But you know what? We can dream, can't we?
Yes, we can,
and that brings joy.
I love it. Sherelle,
my joy is Latoya brought me some Shades beer from Shades.
Ooh,
beer brewery. I have a hard time.
It's a local brewery here in Utah.
Yeah, dude, I dig their beer. Their beer is really good, and I'm not sponsored, but you guys should sponsor me and keep providing me your alcoholic beverages.
I mean, I would gladly partake, because they are the only local beer brewery that does sour beers, and I love sour beers.
I haven't had a sour beer.
Oh my goodness, they are delicious.
Y'all like that stuff though.
I know. I love a good beer, and sour beer is kind of like, what do you think, Sherelle? Like like the champagne of beer?
I don't know, because every time I drink a sour beer, I literally take a sip and I'm like, I don't know if I like that. Let me take another sip. And I literally do that whole thing until I'm done with the beer. And then I'm like, I still don't know if I like it. Let me get another beer. So I don't know. I think I do like them, but they're, I don't know. Sour beers are just different. You just have to try it.
Yes, I agree.
Especially if you like sour candy.
Yeah.
But is it sweet though? Because y'all know me. Like, if it's bitter, no thanks.
You know, some of them are
beers.
Yeah, I think some of them are sweeter. Some of them are tarty, like tart.
Yeah.
I mean, I would try one. I probably couldn't drink a whole one.
Like Shades has a really good one that has pistachios in it, and I'm surprised I can drink it.
They didn't just gonna say.
Yeah, they didn't have any when Latoya went to go get some, but yeah, I think it's just because I think I'm allergic to the oils. But it's fermented, so I feel like the oil is fermented out, or whatever you call it.
This is allergic to some nuts.
I can't have it in my mouth. I just can't.
I'm clueless. What did she say? There goes your social life.
Yep. Yeah. But they got some pretty good sour beers, and they have like interesting ingredients too. Like they add cinnamon and vanilla and just interesting things to beers that you wouldn't think. So yeah, I dig Shades, and again, not sponsored, but you all should sponsor the fuck out of me. Okay.
Please and thank you. My joy, this is something I need to be better about, is because I know I have a lot of things to be grateful for, and, that are joyous. Like, I mean, like I woke up this morning,
yes.
Like it's a beautiful thing. But I think I'm one of those people, I think too hard about these things when really it's really just simple. Like, you got up today,
Yeah.
Like, I got up today. That's my joy. I got up today. So, and you know, because I've been really tired too, as of late, been working on a lot of side projects and things like that. Cause, you know, trying to make sure breaking generational curses in all sorts of forms, financially, mentally, all that stuff. So, you know, I've been doing a lot of that, and, you know, I have a full-time job too. And, you know, I have 2 children. So navigating all of their needs on top of having a son with special needs, you know, and taking care of my own personal health and mental health and stuff like that, you know. But so, yeah, I've been super tired, but, you know, I woke up this morning. So
Yeah, I love that.
So what about y'all? What's your joy? Let us know. Send us an email, a DM, whatever is your choice. Send us an email at sistasunscripted@gmail.com or DM us on, you know, all the socials. We're on most of the socials for the handle, or the handle is at sistasunscripted. You know, just say hi. We want to see how y'all are doing and all that stuff. So.
Also, spoiler alert, Jake Paul won.
Oh.
Ooh. Anyway.
All right.
Well,
here we go.
there's that.
And you know what? Thanks for joining us again. We'll see you next episode.
Sistas out.